So you said from 1920s there was like a revolution in the in the format of classical music.
I would say yes. 20th century was crucial for many things in every segment of life, and so in music. So yes, starting in the, let's say, 30th, 40th, and then forward, a new...
There was the modernist movement.
Yes, and then avant-garde and post-avant-garde, and this is where the traditional harmony and form kind of broke, and there was a new kind of dodecaphonia is like a new system was developed, a new compositional system was developed. And so the composers were just experimenting with a lot of things, because they just broke all this new time, asked for new forms.
That's I want to say something related to that, because this movement of modernism in the 20th century didn't come about just out of a whim. There was a particular rationale to it, a particular kind of set of theory of art that didn't just was related to music, but it was related to all the arts in general. And
because in this technological moment that we are living, these old forms are no longer compatible.
There was a drive to represent modern life as it is, and to break down with the romantic tradition that preceded the modernist period, where a lot of artists and artistic theorists thought that everything that was done before, it tended just to repeat itself and fall into cliches, and not to represent modern life. Not the art of the moment at least of the romantic era was not producing any more forms of art that were authentically representing the situation of the everyday life. And the modernist artists tried to regain that, to get some sort of authenticity and to break with all forms, because they thought this is just repeating itself, it's turning into cliches. And there was this word that came into use in that period. It's somewhere, I don't know if it was in Austria or in Germany, or probably both at the same time. It's the word Kitsch, which is a little bit difficult
to explain.
To define. I was also reading and listening to quite a bit about this, and I recommend there are 3 lectures by Roger Scruton, which is, I don't know what his professional label is. I would say he's like a cultural critic, and he has 3 lectures talking about beauty and talking about kitsch and fakes and that kind of stuff. And one way he gives one quote by Milan Kundera, the Czech novelist, to describe what kitsch is. And he says kitsch is like 2 tears that roll from the eyes of a person when the person is watching children playing in the grass. The first tear says something like, how nice it is to look at the kids playing in the grass. And the second tear says, how nice it is to be moved along with the rest of the world by looking at the kids playing in the grass. So this conception of kitsch has to do with fake emotion, not authentic emotion, where the emotion, let's say, of a particular piece of art, it's not in the object of art anymore, but it's in the subject trying to show that emotion that I'm feeling, This is a little bit of a tangent, but I just want to make a comment. This is, I think, a good way to understand kitsch in the modern day and age is looking at social media, for example. You have tragedies all over the world. You have, just to mention one, for instance, recent is what happened with Notre Dame, right? The church went down, and there was a lot of like a pouring of feelings about what happened, what a tragedy, and so on. And then some people started to complain because there was money being raised for reconstruct this church, a lot of money, millions and millions of euros. And there was like an alternative campaign saying something like, this money could end famine in the African continent or something like that, which is undeniable. It's true. I mean, if you channel that amount of money into combating famine, you would probably make a greater good than rebuilding a church. It's certainly true. But the people in social media posting about this are not, they're in a sense trivializing the emotion. They're more kind of using this tragedy, which is famine, happening on a mass scale, to be themselves the vessels of the emotion and trivializing the real emotion of the fact. That's closely related to what kitsch is. Is fake emotion. They're not really feeling I deeply the despair that is brought about by famine and these kind of tragedies. It's more about, look at me, how I am moved by this.
But
in art, this also happened, and in the Romantic period is full of that. And the Modernist period was also motivated for breaking away with this fake emotion put into the artistic productions.
So now the question is, music also, it was the same translation?
Music went throughout the Modernist.
Yes, and it's still going to.
When does it end?
It doesn't end, hopefully.
It just keeps on going.
Yes. Well, we can speak about the quality of these modern pieces, because sometimes you have, for example, Charles Ives, who had this idea that everything is music, even silence, and he has this very famous composition, 4:33. It's 4 minutes and 33 seconds that you sit on a piano and you don't play. So you just come, you bow, and then you sit, and after 4 minutes you are done.
And what he wanted to
prove, what he wanted to prove is that nowadays everything is music. So all sounds that you hear, all noises that you make, can be classified as music.
Okay.
So this was what was happening in the 20th century. A lot of radical ideas, a lot of tries.